to the Muskegon Channel. It's Andy O'Reilly down at the American Red Cross in Muskegon today. Mark Evans is my guest, and Mark here's all nervous because he thinks he's on some big deal of a TV show. Dude, it's just two guys talking. You good?
I'm good.
Deep breath. Mark just became a grandfather for the third time last week. I got some catching up to do. I'm up to 7.
Well, it's going to be a little bit before that happens.
Trust me, it gets better as time goes on.
Well, I enjoy each and
Ain't the
every one of
greatest?
them.
Ain't the greatest thing?
It is great.
And the best part of it is, I mean, this one's just little right now for you.
Absolutely.
How old are the other ones?
I have a 12 and a 9, so this new one is going to be nice to have a little baby in the family
So
again.
you're all into the whole. You know all about sugaring them up and shaking them up and sending them home.
Send them home.
Oh, I love it.
After that,
that's the best part.
It is.
Mom says I can't have pop. Well, you know what? I outrank Mom. You can have all you want.
I gave her pop when we were going
That's
supposed to.
So we're down at the Red Cross today, and Lisa Tyler got a hold of me from the Cherokee, and she's over at Tanglewood as well, Senior Resources.
Yep.
And she wanted me to help get the word out about the Red Cross and senior transportation.
Absolutely.
You guys are kind of, I mean, and you look behind us here, be a volunteer, kind of sets the tone for what we're going to talk about today.
True.
You guys are in need of some people to help get senior citizens around town.
We are.
Talk about that a little
So
bit.
our program provides low-income Muskegon County seniors with medical transportation at no cost to the client. So we're helping people who don't have any other way to get to their doctor's appointments. Right now, 55% of our rides go to dialysis units for people that don't have any other way to get there.
Yeah, wow.
So, we feel like we're saving lives every day.
Sure.
Our need right now for volunteers is we need drivers primarily. We also have some office opportunities. But primarily we need folks to drive Red Cross vehicles using Red Cross gas, Red Cross insurance. Drivers do not need any special driver's license. It's
Nope.
just, we do a driver's license
Well, yeah,
check.
I mean, you're going to have to do that kind of thing because you
gotta
can't
do
have
that.
somebody out there that...
And we do a background check
Sure.
just to make sure, because we don't want to send just anybody out there. But I think what people would find is they're joining just a great group of people who care about the community and care about their fellow Muskegonites. Most of our drivers are retirees, although we have some younger folks. We have men and women serving. And generally, folks will do like a 4-hour shift, either a morning shift or an afternoon shift. Some folks will drive for an 8-hour day.
Yeah.
That can get a little long for some folks.
Sure.
But and most people will pick a day. They'll do a Tuesday morning or a Thursday afternoon, whatever works for them, because we really want to work with the volunteers' availability and their time, because we appreciate what time they can give us.
Yeah, it's tough too because even in a volunteer role, you want to give, you want to do things, and you want to be there. But if it's a volunteer, you can't really force them to be down here. But if somebody's going to be honest and wants to take an active role in being a volunteer, they have to stick to their commitment as well.
Yeah, we do ask folks, but of course we realize things happen in people's lives, and they just let us know if they can't come in, and we get a hold of someone else and ask them if they can cover a little bit extra. And all of our folks, we had 91 volunteers last year, but of course they're not all at our beck and call at all times because in the winter we've got a lot of snowbirds, and in the summer we got people going on summer vacation, and like right now we have a number of people off with physical ailments themselves. So. I say 91 sounds like a big number. It's still, we have cars in the parking lot looking for drivers. We have a 50-person waiting list to get into our service.
That need a ride. 50 people are waiting right now.
To get into the service, but we already have hundreds of people in the service already.
Wow.
So, we were able to get that number down. We had a couple new drivers come, so we were able to get that number down from 100 down to 50 people waiting just to get into the program. Wow. And then you have to call to get your appointment, and, we don't always have a slot open, but we do our best to work around that situation for the client to, work with our doctor if we can switch times, or, sometimes we can get an extra driver to come in and help out. So it's really, when it comes to the volunteer, we work around their schedule. But I think what most volunteers find is once they get here, they don't leave because it's
going to be my next question. Yeah, I mean, you start off in one of these things and you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know the circumstances that you're going to be facing with some of these people, and there's something to be said about meeting somebody new, even if it's a stranger. You just don't know what's coming around the next corner, and it might be
literally in this case. You don't know what's coming around. Well, what we find is one example is if one of our clients unfortunately passes away, I'll come into work and there'll be 3 or 4 brochures from the funeral,
Yeah.
because they built such a relationship with these clients. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times they see the same ones week after week, and they build this bond with them, and they
Yeah.
become like extended family or friends, and you know. They talk about personal things. You know, they don't have to. Some clients don't want to talk at all.
No.
But some clients talk the whole trip, and the driver doesn't have to say anything.
And I was gonna say for some of these people that might need the ride, you might be their only social interaction.
That's exactly right.
Through the entire week.
It's definitely true, and I've heard that exact thing from clients before.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll jump in the car, and you'll hear all kinds of stories because they don't have anyone to share with.
Yeah.
And so we feel we're not only good for their physical health, but for their mental health too.
Yeah.
And just knowing that somebody's there, these drivers don't have to be there. They're just doing it out of the kindness of their hearts.
Yeah.
So these clients know that, and they know that this person is just there to help them. And it's just a wonderful, and for me, working around these people every day, how fortunate for me to be able to work around people with that kind of mindset, with that kind of heart,
Sure.
to be able to share themselves with their community and their other members of the community.
I did some of this back when my grandma was still alive, and I think back to, okay, you got to go pick your grandma up at 10. You got to take her to the eye doctor. You got to take her here. You got to take her there. Now, I don't know if this goes on in the program here, if it's allowed or whatever, but she was in her 80s and diabetic, and it was her day out. So. Back then, it usually entailed to stop at the store for some ice cream, and
well, unfortunately,
I'm not here to tell Grandma no when it comes down to
we have a little problem saying no.
I'm sure you do,
but we have such a tight schedule.
Yeah,
that, sometimes we certainly we are just a medical service.
I get that.
We will stop and pick up a prescription once in a while to help folks out who don't have any other way to get around. Things like that, as long as it's related to the medical the thing. But it's funny because we do a survey with the clients every year, and one of the clients, we leave room for comments on the survey, and this client's comment was, well, they won't take me to Acapulco. The drivers won't take me to Acapulco. So just another example of the clients love us. I mean, I put out 100 surveys, and I got 44 of them back. Now, for a survey, that's a pretty good, and that just shows that how much the clients like us, and I have all kinds of comments from those clients that they really appreciate us, they rely on us. We do take donations, and they might give us $2 or whatever it is they can afford for that, right? Some can't afford anything, which is fine also, because that's my job to make sure the grants are there. The United Way is a big help for us. Senior Resources is another. So the community is funding this program, and it is helping so many people in the community.
Who's the ideal client? Or who's the ideal driver right now? If somebody walked through that door over there right now, the picture-perfect person to be a driver.
Just someone who likes to talk to other people, who likes that. Because we all have opportunities in blood services. If you like to drive and you don't like people, because we also transport blood products to different hospitals. But if you like talking to people, meeting interesting people with really cool stories, this is a great opportunity for you. You name your own hours, you drive somebody else's vehicle, and you just meet some of the most amazing people. I had the opportunity to go out and drive. It's my favorite part of the job. When it gets to a crunch, when we don't have enough drivers, sometimes I got to go jump in a car. But you know what? I love it because I meet some of those people and they tell us how much they appreciate it, and for me that's great. I don't get that one-on-one with the client as much as I'd like, but the drivers to a man or to a woman say they get as much out of it as the clients do because of the relationships.
Let's say somebody's out there and they need this kind of service. They need this ride. How do they go about? What's the first step?
Well, unfortunately, right now we have that 50-person waiting list.
Right, I get that, but
they can call in. They can call in, and we get them on the list. What we do prioritize, like life-saving appointments, like dialysis and cancer treatments. That's why our numbers continue to rise every year for dialysis. We're up over 3% from just last year for dialysis rides because we can't tell someone we can't give them a ride who doesn't have any other way to their dialysis treatment. Right. So we push those people to the front of the list and get them in as quickly as possible.
Sure.
I forgot what your question.
No, the question is if somebody needed to get in the queue for this kind of service.
So that is the way to sign up. But for someone who's already in the service, the way the service works is when they find out when their appointment is,
Yep.
they give us a call. With their next Wednesday, they need their ride, so we get them into the appointment calendar. We call them, the client, the day before to remind them that
Yep.
they have a ride. Some folks will forget to call us if they had it canceled. Some folks will just forget. And we don't want to drive to Montague to find out that somebody isn't going, so that allows us more time to get other people
Sure.
to their appointments. And we do cover all of Muskegon County.
Okay.
We go to any medical facility in Muskegon County, dentist, mental health, we do some
whole gamut.
prescription runs.
Sure.
We do them all. And so then we pick them up at their front door. One of our friendly volunteers will go in the Red Cross car, all emblazoned with logos, so they make sure they're who's picking them up. We go right to the front door. We take them to their appointment, and then we drop them off to go get the next person and take them, so we can cover a lot more ground. Now, when that person's ready to go home, either they call us or a lot of the medical facilities will give us a call and say, Judy's ready to head home now,
Sure.
and we send the closest driver over and get her and take her right back to her.
Got
front door.
walkie-talkies in the cars and
We
everything?
have two-way radios in all
Nice.
the cars, so
CBs.
It's constant communication between the cars, and we have a base radio here, so we constantly, if anybody has an issue or anything, if anybody can't find a place, somebody's been there before, and they'll say,
Yep.
hey, go to McDonald's and go 2 houses down, and,
Yep.
and you're there,
Yep.
So, we have a lot of communication, so the drivers don't have to worry about getting lost, and most of the drivers, it doesn't take them very long to catch on,
GPS on everybody's
Yeah,
phone
everybody's
too
got
now.
those phones
that's what it
nowadays,
is,
too.
Great work going on here. Everything else going good at the Red Cross?
It is.
Yeah.
We're still providing all the services we've ever provided here at
Yeah.
the Red Cross. We're responding to fires. We're having the blood drives. We do have some health and safety training in this room here from the CPR type classes.
Sure.
So there's a lot still going on here at the Red Cross. We got a great service to armed forces program here with our Bruce Casbah is a volunteer himself.
Yep.
But probably spends almost 40 hours a week here as a volunteer helping those veterans. So a lot of services here still available, a lot of volunteer opportunities, and you know what? There's just some great people. You're going to meet wonderful people, and you're going to be making a difference in your community. So
That's what it's all about, man.
it's a good deal. I'm proud of what we do every day.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's a great way. Get out, do something in the community. It doesn't take a whole lot of time or effort. Get down here and learn what it takes to become a driver, drive senior citizens around. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, you meet somebody that's worth millions of dollars and you're driving them around. You could end up in the will.
Well, I hadn't thought about that, but I guess anything's possible.
I always have to. I picked media for a career, you got to figure every angle out. Nice to meet you, man. I appreciate you taking a couple
Thank
of
you.
minutes.
I appreciate your time.
We'll put the links down here to the American Red Cross. If you'd like to become a volunteer driver, give Mark a call, and he'll get you taken care of right down here. Thanks again, Mark.
We'd love to have you, and you'd have a great time. Thank you.
Absolutely.